Well, I guess it's time for me to do this again after a long break. Uh, I guess this time around I filtered out a lot of my duplicates, of which I need to get rid of somehow. I have not quite figured that out yet. But yeah. I figured instead of just trying to break down all the dumb phones into different categories like I tried doing the last time, I'm just gonna basically kamikaze it and just do them all at once. Be a lot easier. Oh man. Sorry, I'm really tired right now. Yeah, but I guess like always, I don't remember what all these models are. I may or may not check to see what they are. Who knows? But now that that's out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and get started with this Mitsubishi here. Which, I didn't really know they made phones, but yeah, this is a Mitsubishi T200 on AT&T. Here we have this Tandy phone, which is oh yeah, and it's corroded to shit. Those old school batteries, half the time what'll happen is the battery will basically corrode into the software, or not software, into the hardware, internal hardware, and basically just destroy everything. So basically it's just a paperweight, but still cool to have. I'm guessing that's a CT350, if that's what it is. I don't know. Motorola Teletac 200. It does work. This is perhaps my newest addition. A Motorola Dynatac on US West Cellular. The battery is obviously just it's not in good shape at all, but the internals surprisingly don't seem to be crud or anything, so that's good. Next I have a pretty cool one here, a Motorola Timeport, which is one of the last iterations of the Motorola StarTAC. Specifically, well, I mean, there are many Timeports, but this is the one that was modeled after a StarTAC. Really cool. It has the very first OLED display, which looks beautiful on it. Next one I have is a kind of a rare one, a Motorola MPX, though the screen's damaged and so is the hinge. Yeah, this thing basically, there's no way it's gonna work, but it's still cool to have. Next up, I have a Nokia 282. I think it's on AT&T. The Bob phone. Yeah. It's kind of a weird looking flip phone. I mean, look at that. That's bizarre, isn't it? Alright. Next up is this little LG phone on TracFone. It works, just doesn't have a battery in it right now. Right here is an LG VX8300. I don't think it really has a charge at the moment, but I try to get it powered on later at some point. I don't know when. Right here I have a Motorola variant of the T-Mobile Sidekick. I don't have a battery for it, unfortunately. It also has that awful rubber coating that basically just rots. A little process called rubber reversion. I've also heard the term rubber rot, but that doesn't really feel well on the tongue if you can really, if you really know what I mean. This thing's basically succumbed to the same thing. I mean, just look at it. Ew. This is a Motorola Q. I think this one works. I think I've tested it before and it works fine. I have two of them, but one's silver, so I decided to keep it. Here I have this other Nokia flip phone. I think this one works. It doesn't have a battery in it right now. Now this little thing is similar to a Nokia 3310 in a lot of ways, but not quite. Then I have this Nokia. I think it's on AT&T. Again, I'm not really trying to look at all the different model numbers on it. I don't remember what a lot of them are. So here I have the Samsung SGH X105. Battery's probably dead on it, but it does actually work. I have tested it, and it's fine. I have this Nokia here on T-Mobile. Doesn't really have a battery in it right now, I don't think. So here's a weird phone that I have. A Sonim XP 4400, I think is what it's called. Yeah. It's supposed to be like a durable phone. Like meant for construction workers and shit, but you know. With T-Mobile's 2G service shut down, there's no way we're going to be able to use any of that now. At least not here in the United States. Here's my other Motorola Q. This one doesn't have that annoying rubber coating. I don't know why they ever thought that was such a good idea. I guess they wanted to make it feel more premium or something. I don't know. But obviously it didn't work. Alright. Next I have this little Sanyo phone right here on Sprint. Well, I think a lot of them were really released on Sprint, to be honest. It's supposed to be like a more durable phone or something. I think, anyway. Alright. Here's the next one. This is a Samsung SCH 8500, I think. One of these, like, I have a few of these. I think one of these has a functioning battery still. That one doesn't have the good battery in it right now. Here's a Samsung Gusto 2, I think. I can't tell which is which. Yeah, it's dead. Then I have this Samsung SCH 870 on Verizon. Then a Samsung SGH T something or other. I forget what it's called, but it's on T-Mobile. It boot loops, but I think that might be attributed to the fact that it doesn't have a battery in it currently. Here's another cool one. The Siemens SL10. I got this as an import from Europe. I don't even have a battery for it, so I have no way to test it. So, I mean, it's cool, but like it's a cool piece of technology that I have, but I have no way to see if it actually works. Here I have a Motorola Profile 300E Plus. That's a little bit of word salad there, but basically the Profile was a Motorola Microtech without the closing door on it. That's what this is. Basically a budget phone released in the late 90s that still had that weird like orange or green dot matrix display. Here is a Sagem on, I think it's called Arnet. I'm pretty sure this is a French carrier. I don't remember, but I think that's the model number right there. I don't remember. I don't even have a charger for this, so I have no way to tell if it even powers on. Here I have a Samsung Reality. The battery was like basically a spicy pillow, so I had to pitch it. So I have no way to tell if it works. Then I have this Nokia on Virgin Mobile. It works, it's just dead right now. Then I have this little LG flip phone on AT&T. It works, it's just dead right now. Then this Nokia on Singular. Old, like one of those old colored bar phones. Here is a ZTE Agent. I'll be surprised if it even powers on. Because I think last I checked the battery was dead. No, it's dead. I think that like one of these years, I want to say 2011, CNET rated as one of the worst phones of all time for that year. So kind of says something about it. Not really all that sure what. Okay. Here's the other Samsung SG or SCH 8500. I think this one has a good battery in it. Yep. There you go. This one's on Sprint. I'm going to turn it off. No need to keep it on because I have a few other phones. Here is a Motorola MicroTac on Cellular One. I seem to have a lot of like old phones on Cellular One for some reason. Mainly Motorola's. Here's an interesting one. Samsung SCH 1500. It works. I have like the startup and shutdown video of it on my channel, but it's just dead right now. Because, you know, old ass batteries be old ass batteries. What can I say? Another LG VX 8300. I have like 5 of these. One of them I got from like some friend, and I need to make sure that I don't get rid of the one that my friend gave me, which is why I still have like multiple of those. I need to go through them all. Here I have a Nokia 6162 with the keyboard door and yellow to shit keys. Probably because the rubber's degrading. It's on AT&T, and I have no idea if it works because I don't have the battery for it. Here I have a Samsung, some sort of Convoy. I do not remember. And this LG right here with this kind of cool looking back panel. I want to say this is an LG Accolade right here on Verizon. Let's see if it even powers on. It might. Nope. No. No, it don't. Darn shame. Here, I mean, this isn't necessarily a phone, but it kind of is. This is a Motorola pager. It does work. It's just dead, or it's just dead right now. Doesn't have any batteries in it. Here is a Kyocera Oyster. I don't think there's any charge in it right now, but I believe it does actually work. What else do we have? Here is like some kind of like weird variant of the Motorola MicroTac. I don't remember, like I don't know exactly when this was manufactured, but what I do know is that it was, I want to say it was remodeled in the year 2000. Yeah. This thing doesn't really work. It's like the battery connectors are destroyed by corrosion. And it was like covered in like covered in battery dust for some reason. Here I have this Motorola, I think it's on TracFone. Some W something. Yeah, I can't even make that out. It's water damaged. There's no way I'm reading that. Alright. Then I have this Samsung on Verizon. I don't remember like exactly what model this is, but what I do remember is that this was like one of the first color phones that Samsung released. It has like an extra large battery pack on it. Here I have this Samsung, which I think is carrier unlocked. I don't know for certain, but it's dead right now. Then I have this Nokia. Everybody's probably seen these before. It's on AT&T. I think that one might actually be my grandmother's. I found that like in a drawer. Then I have a Motorola, some like version of the Razr. I forget which one it's called, but it's on Sprint. It works. Like, it actually will work without a battery, which is rare for dumb phones for some reason. All right. Next, I have a Motorola i90C. Ignore the phone number. It does work. It's just dead. Then I have a Samsung Smiley. This was not my first phone, but like the second phone I ever owned. I actually replaced the back cover on it. But I have like several buttons that need to be replaced. It works though. Still have like a lot of my old like friends' contacts on it and shit, which is really cool. Then I have this Samsung phone or Sanyo phone on a Sprint. The battery is dead because of course. Oh, it's a SCP-8100. I have the model number written on some of these. Then I have this Samsung on Verizon. It is a SDH A950. I think that's what it said. It's hard to focus. It seems to be giving me problems like trying to focus. Here I have a Samsung SPH A460, which works perfectly fine. It's just dead right now. Needs a charge. Then I have a ZTE symbol on T-Mobile, I think. Damn, you take forever to power on. Go faster. There we go. Ugh. In 5 years, I'll be able to turn you back off. Come on. Okay, well, it's doing its thing. Guess I'll show you some more of these. Oh, there we go. You're not missing out on much. It's a very anticlimactic power off. Anyway, here's another ZTE, the R225. Not to be confused with the Samsung SGH R225, which is much older. Yeah, it's just a basic AT&T Go phone. Doesn't have a camera or anything. Here we have an LG, one of those like LG cheap touchscreen phones that they released like in the 2010s. All right. Here I have this Nokia. Oh, excuse me. I have no idea what that is. I don't remember the model number. Then I have this Nokia on T-Mobile, which has that horrible rubber coating, but I think it actually works. Then I have, I don't know if this is like some sort of Revere or what that is. Then I have a Kyocera 2235. It shows signs of life, though I can't get it to fully power on because it doesn't have a working battery in it right now. Then I have a LG VX8600, something like that. Good lord, I don't remember. And I have this really old one. This is a Novatel PTR 800. This thing is a literal brick. I mean, like, come on, this thing is bigger than a Motorola Dynatac. That's crazy. Like, you gotta admit that's crazy. I'm like tracking like battery juice all over the goddamn carpet. Good God. Then I have this Motorola i355. I know it functions, but I have not been able to get it to fully power on just yet. And then we have an LG VX80 or VX3100. It works, it's just dead right now. It has a cool like money print on it though. We have this Pantech phone on Verizon. Pantech Swift, I think is what it's called. Something like that. I don't remember. It's on Verizon. And the battery's trying to pop out now. No, I need you to stay in there. There we go. Good boy. Oh, what else do we have? Why am I dropping phones? Then we have this actually kind of badass LG phone on Verizon. I don't remember what the model number is for the life of me, but it does actually work. Then I have a Samsung SPH N400. It has a little badge right there. But yeah, the rubber's kind of doing this like other type of like rotting where it like gains this like weird coating and kind of just disintegrates. It's like, oh, it's called dry rotting. That's what it is. Then I have this Nokia on Sprint, which has a retractable antenna. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Then I have this Samsung. It's called a Keystone or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a crappy phone. Then I have this Kyocera K phone on Virgin Mobile. I have not been able to get it to power on yet. I don't know if it works. Next, I have this Samsung on T-Mobile. Samsung SGH E105. I think it's water damage or something. It doesn't show any signs of life. And then we have this actually relatively large-sized LG flip phone on AT&T. Let me see if it even powers on. I doubt it does. Nah, she did. Next, I have this Samsung SGH A737, something like that. 757, something similar to that. It's a slider phone. It works, it's just dead right now. Then I have this LG on AT&T, which actually does work. Yep. It has a color film display on the back, which is a lazy attempt to make a phone screen look like a color screen. But it's actually just a monochrome screen with a color image slapped on it. Don't look at those guys. They're not real. They're not real. Not like power off, bro. There we go. There we go. Okay. Next up, I have this Verizon phone from LG. Yeah. It has that weird sticker on the back. I think it actually works just fine. Don't remember fully. Oh, God. Like digging deep for some of these. Here we have a Kyocera Jax on Virgin Mobile. It's got a bad battery, but I mean, it powers on. It'll show signs of life. Then we have a Motorola V190, which works. It's just dead right now. Yeah. Then we have this Motorola T721 on AT&T, which has a bad display. I don't think it's a bad display. I think it's a bad ribbon cable. That's what that is. What the fuck? Okay, so this phone is disintegrating now. Why? Weird, okay. It's on AT&T, and I don't believe it works. Try to get some interesting ones here. I'm showing you some boring shit. There we go. Just set those right there. Here we have a Samsung SGH Q105 on T-Mobile. It works, it's just the battery's really weak on it. Well, basically, it's just a dead battery. Then we have this Siemens C10 on Vodafone. I do not have a charger for it, so I have no way to tell if it actually works. Bummer. Then we have a Motorola V120, I think is what it's called. It works, it's just dead right now. I think I tried to power it on not too long ago and it just didn't want to perform. Then we have a Samsung SGH or SPH N240. It works, but it's got a bad battery and the speaker is not good at all. Yeah, that battery is starting to bulge like crazy. Might be time to throw that away soon and replace it. Then we have this Nokia, or no, it's a Sanyo RL something. Now I'm just curious to see what it is. RL4920. It has a bad battery, so I have no way to see if it turns on or not. That's what's annoying about some of these like dumb phones is it won't power on unless you have like a decent battery in it, like one that actually will hold a charge. Some will like show signs of life but not power on fully. Some just won't power on at all or show any signs of life. But here is a Sprint touchpoint phone. I don't know what brand made it, but it's like a carrier flagship or something like that. I think this is a Samsung Gusto 3 on Verizon. It works. Wow, Verizon.
Hans.
Shut up. I love how it has like a voice feature like that. You can basically make it like an impromptu text-to-speech generator. Take a picture, make the name like something like really weird, and it'll like read it out. It's honestly hilarious. I have a video of me doing that on my channel. Next, I have this Sanyo SCP-4000 on I think it was Sprint. I have no way to test if it works. I don't have the charger for it. Then I have this Nokia on AT&T. I think it works. I think I managed to get it to power on. I don't remember. Next, I have this LG Scoop on Altel. It is pretty badly water damaged. There's no way it's going to work. Then I have this LG, I think it's called a 500C or something like that. Another basic touchscreen phone. Then I have this Samsung Messenger. I don't remember if it's the first one or the second one. I don't think it works though. Then I have a Motorola StarTAC right here. This is like one of many that I own. Though this one has a bad screen. It's basically just everything about it is just worn out. Like a lot of the like newer, like more advanced ones I have like didn't age as well as like the analog ones that I've got, which is weird. Here I have this Motorola phone on TracFone. I don't remember what it's called, but I just recently got these. It works. Just dead right now. Next I have this Nokia. The back is destroyed and it does not show any signs of life at all. Oh dear, okay. Grab the next few phones here. Here's another Motorola V120 on AT&T. It also works. Those things are like bricks. They don't die. You might have to replace the battery maybe, but that's about it. Some just flew right off of this. Oh shit. Hinge is starting to Hinge is starting to die. Here I have this Samsung phone, which the battery seems to be starting to corrode for some reason. It has a camera on it, yeah, right there. It works. It's just dead right now. Doesn't really hold that much of a charge either. I think it was like one of the first ever phones I got in my collection. Anyway, here's this LG on US Cellular. Can't promise that it'll turn on, but I know it works. Oh, you just saw my face. Hell yeah. Next, I have this Sanyo phone. This like weird blue color. Pretty cool. But, well, fine, I'll try it. Only for you guys. Yeah, it's dead. Next, I have this Panasonic phone on AT&T. I think it's called the Supercell or something like that. It's honestly a really cool phone because it has a feature where you can make the screen either amber or like this like weird kind of like alien green. That looks unlike the weird like yellowish green of like most phones of like the late 90s and early 2000s. Honestly, looks pretty good. I like it. Alright. Here I have an LG Revere. I don't know if it's the 3 or what, but it is worn to shit. Looks pretty bad. Then I have this little Motorola bar phone right here. I don't believe it works. I have like that and like its slightly bigger cousin. One of which works, one of which does not. Here is one of my few Motorola C139s. Each one had like a different color palette, so I decided to keep those 3. And then we have this little LG on track phone, which works, but it's just dead right now. What else do we have? What else am I gonna dig out of my concoction here? Then we have this BlackBerry Bold on, I think it was AT&T. I don't have a battery for it, so I have no way to test it. And this other little Samsung right here. Next, we have a Samsung SGH C140, which actually does work. It's probably just dead right now. Yeah, it is. And then we have a Sonim XP3400. Yeah. Which has like a weird proprietary charger, so I have no way to test it. Then we have one of my analog Motorola StarTACs. I think this is the first Motorola StarTAC I ever got. And it has a green dot matrix display. It's on Cellular One, and I know it works if you have a charger on it. But the thing about about pretty much all of my Motorola StarTACs is the batteries have basically long since stopped working. So I don't think I have a single Motorola StarTAC that has an actually functioning battery right now. Next up, I have this Kyocera Mello, which is basically the Metro PCS sister of the Kyocera Jax. I think that is a similar... Well, that one doesn't have a battery at all, but it works. Next, I have this LG something or other with a really messed up hinge. And then I have this LG, I want to say this is an Extrovert 2 or something. I don't remember if it works or not. It doesn't have a battery. Then I have a Sanyo Pro 200, which I thought I got it to power on at one point. I just don't remember, like, if that was actually reality or what. What the hell? I don't even know where this came from. I'm gonna try to figure that out. Probably another phone that's falling apart. Here I have a Samsung Entro. It works, it's just dead right now. Then I have this Kyocera flip phone. This Doro phone, whatever you want to call it. Then I have an LG NV3. Whoa. Hold up. Might have actually come from this. No, that battery's just bloated. You know what? Hang on. Time to throw that away. Be gone, battery. I'll replace you later. Now that we're getting off topic here, I have a Motorola, or nah, it's not a Motorola, it's a Sharp. Some sort of Sharp on a Vodafone. I think this is like an LG Extrovert too. I don't remember, man. I have like so many phones. I just can't keep up. I have this other BlackBerry on Sprint. I forget what the hell the model is. Then I have a BlackBerry Curve on AT&T with no battery. A Easy phone. Easy One, I think that's what it's called. I have not been able to get this one to work, which is a darn shame because I want to. But yeah. Then I have this Nokia 2610 on AT&T. I believe that one actually works. Struggling hurts. Crazy ones. There we go. Oh fuck. I'm like dropping phones and shit like crazy. Then I have this Sony Ericsson, or not Sony Ericsson, just an Ericsson on Singular. I don't remember what the model is. Then I have this BlackBerry Curve on Verizon, which I believe that one actually works. Then we got an Ericsson R600. I think it's this one that has like the changing color displays. So you could either select like that, yellowish green color that we're all familiar with, amber, or red. I think I chose red on it because it looks pretty cool that way. Then we have this Kyocera K413 Phantom. This is the version that has a monochrome display. So the Phantom, you could get one of two models. The one on Cricket that I just showed you had the monochrome display, which is this honestly really cool, really cool blue color. You could get it like that, or you could get one with a color display, the KX414, which I also have. It's just buried in there somewhere. But I mean, they basically share the same chassis, and at the end of the day, they're like roughly the same phone, just with minor upgrades. Then we have a Siemens A55, which has a really cool amber display, though I can't really see that for myself because I don't have the proper charger. Wait, no, I do have the charger. I meant the battery. Anyway, here I think we have another BlackBerry Curve, maybe? I think that's what this is. This one's on T-Mobile. Ah, God. So many phones here. Then we have this big boy Sony here. It's the only, just regular Sony phone I have. Though I plan to try and get more. It works, it just has a dead battery. Then I have this, don't pay attention to that. I have this Nokia phone right here. I don't remember if that works or not. It doesn't have a battery. Then we have a Samsung Haven on Verizon. This one does work. I've tested it. I think the battery is dead on it. No, wait. that yellow sticker means it's missing a battery. I tried color coding it at one point to remember like which ones still needed a battery and which ones did not. Honestly, trying to find a battery for each of these is getting expensive. Next, I have this Nokia 8260 on Singular. I have no way to test it yet, but I will try to get a new battery for it soon. That aside, here I have this, I think it's called some sort of LG, that just feels really nice. It's got like an all-metal body, just beautiful. Then I have this Sony Ericsson on AT&T. It's got a bad screen. Then next, I have the Samsung SGHT 309 on T-Mobile. I have no way to test if it works because it does not have a battery. Then I have a Samsung SGH R225M, not to be mistaken with a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, which my dumb self probably wrote there for some reason. I don't really know what that reason might be. Alright. Then we have a Kyocera S1300 on TracFone. I think this one's just dead, but it has that color film display I was talking about. Then another BlackBerry Curve on AT&T. Probably should get rid of that one, but I don't know. Next up, I have a Samsung SGH A100. Then just pretty messed up, as you can tell, and it doesn't have a battery. When I do try to plug it in, it makes kind of a buzzing noise, so I'm pretty sure it just doesn't work. That out of the way. Here we have an LG 420G on TracFone. Doesn't really have a charge right now, but I know it does actually work. Next up, I have this Kyocera Duraphone on Sprint. It does work, it's just dead right now. Actually, hold up. Let me try again. Nah, nothing. Yeah, it's just dead right now. But it does indeed actually work. Oh dear. Here I have this other Sony Ericsson on Movistar, which is a European company. I do not have a battery for it currently, so no way to test it. One thing I should probably mention is I did at one point buy at least one European phone lot. So that's why you're probably seeing a lot of like European phones like Sagem or Siemens or something like that. With that out of the way, here's a Siemens MyWB, or W8 I think, on 3 UK wireless. Do not have the charger for it. Then I have this little Nokia phone on T-Mobile. I believe it actually works. I just don't have a charge on it yet. The next, I have a Samsung Flight 2 on AT&T. It does work, just doesn't have a charge. Then I have a BlackBerry Pearl on Verizon. I don't think it has a battery in it right now. Then I have a Samsung Jitterbug. This is the, I want to say that 2006 model. So there are like two variants of these. There is this version, which came out around like the mid 2000s, maybe the late 2000s. And then another one Samsung released in like the earlier half of the 2010s. I have both. Oh dear. Hold up. Sorry. There we go. Next up, I have a Samsung SGH A310 or SCH A310 on Verizon. Works perfectly fine despite how honestly kind of damaged the hinges. It's got a low battery, but it works. I also noticed that you can't really like do any like voice recordings on it, but you can with the SPH A460 that I have in there. Next, I have this LG slider phone. Don't remember which one this one is. Let me see if I can power it on. Nah, it's dead right now, but it works. Then I have this Motorola Microtek. This is, I think, one of the ones they released in 1992, maybe? This is like one of the first edition ones. I do have it somewhere, I just would need to find it first. Here's a Motorola Select 2000E on Pacific Bell. A little bit of dry rot on the rubber there. But ideally it does work. I think I have tested it before. Then next I have a Nokia 5165 with a pretty cool background. Though I think it's honestly no longer going to work because the battery cables are corroded and damaged. Then I have some other Samsung Convoy on Verizon. I think it works despite its condition, but it doesn't have a battery in it, so couldn't power it on for you. Here's another one of those Sony Ericsson phones. Might as well look up the number. The Z750A, I think is what that is. I don't know. I'm like trying to look at it through the camera, and it's kind of hard. Next up, I have a Sonim XP3400 again. This one's black. Alright. What else have we got here? I think like last I checked, I have like about like 400 phones here. It's a lot. And then I have this Kyocera on Sprint. It does not work and it smells like cigarette butts. Next I have a Samsung SPH N200. Works perfectly fine, though it's probably got a dead battery. Oh, let's see. There we go. Next up, I have an LG D-Lite on T-Mobile. Doesn't currently have a charge, but I know it works. It's honestly a pretty badass little phone. I believe this is a Samsung SPH A560. Now I actually I just want to look. A660, that's it. Samsung SPH A660. It works, just doesn't have any charge right now. Bummer. Then I have this Ericsson on AT&T. Looks pretty cool. I do not believe I have a charger for it right now, though. No way to test it. Timber. Alright, here's an interesting one. This is a Pioneer PCC 720. It is basically just a rebadged Motorola StarTAC, not StarTAC, Microtek. It's an off-brand Motorola Microtek is what that is. Then I have a pink Motorola Sliver on Singular. I have a product red version of this somewhere. I'll find it later, I'm sure. Then I have a Kyocera oh man. I swear I said I wouldn't look at like every single phone to figure out what its model is. 2345, that's it. I think the battery's bad on it, so I have no way to truly test and see if it actually works. Here we have a later edition of the Kyocera Jax. Shares the same body as the Kyocera Rally. Only difference really is that it doesn't have these two buttons on the bottom. And the little Joy-Con's different. It also has a back camera. Other than that, not really much else to it. Then I have a Motorola Motophone F3. Not really much to it. I heard from some place that this was the phone that they started giving to like certain like countries in Africa, like when they started getting their first mobile phone lines. They just felt it'd be easier for them to use. And here we have I think it's a Nokia 3360. Kind of like a 3310, but not quite. And then I have this Nokia over here, which I think was actually my grandmother's phone many, many years ago. And then I have this Nokia, which has kind of a weird looking battery. I think, yeah. Well, no, never mind. Thought it was. I know there's like one Nokia phone that I have that has like a weird shaped battery. Better I might be making stuff up. So here's a BlackBerry RIM on Verizon. No idea if that one works. Right. I don't want to have to like dig in there every 5 seconds. So I'm just gonna dig a bunch of phones out. There we go. Oh, sorry. Here I have a Nokia N75 with a damaged hinge. No, it does not work. Then here I have one of many Motorola Razrs. This one also used to be my grandmother's. It's on Verizon. This is what she had when I was in like in pre-K. And like throughout like the earlier half of elementary school. She had this for like a long time. Next we have the Samsung Shank phone on Verizon. This one I think boot loops, so it's kind of useless. Next up, we have a Samsung SCH 3500 on Sprint. I do not have a working battery for this, so I have no way to test if it actually works. Here I have a Samsung Messenger 1 on Cricket. I think it's water damaged or something, so... Actually, that and it doesn't have a battery either, so... No way to know if it actually works. Next, I have this Nokia on AirTouch. The buttons are just yuck. I think I've tried to plug this in, but all it does is just kind of make like a buzzing noise. Like a resistor's gone bad or something. Well, next I have this other Samsung on Sprint. It shares a lot of similarities with the SGH R225M, but it has one of those like Microtech key doors. Here's a rare one. Samsung SH770 on Anycall. This I do not have a charger for. I have looked far and wide to find one, but to no avail. So, garbage, bro. Well, not really. But I don't think I'm really going to be powering on anytime soon. Then I have this little cheap Motorola phone, which has MP3. Ooh. I think this might be on TracFone. I do not remember. Not in the slightest. Next, I have another Motorola Razr. I think this one is on AT&T. It works. Pretty much all the Razrs that I have actually work, thankfully. There we go. Alright. Next, I have this AudioVox MVX425. It does work. It just doesn't have a battery right now, but I have like a weird car phone adapter for it. I think I have like the startup for it on YouTube. Next, I have a Kyocera Soho. I think the battery on it is dead, so it's not gonna work right now. But it does actually function. It's a pretty cool phone, but it has a weird quirk where the screen's kind of like yellowed for some reason. Anyway, next up is an LG Chocolate 2 on Verizon. I don't think that really has any charge right now. And then we have a Samsung Gravity 3 on Verizon. Followed by, of course, a ZTE Z221. The kind of slimmer cousin of the Z222. Then we'll follow that up with, I think this is a Samsung Gusto 2 right here. Doesn't have a charge right now, but it works. And then this weird Samsung slider phone, which I don't remember what it's called. Next up, I have this pink Sanyo phone on Sprint. It works, just doesn't... I haven't charged any of these Sanyos in a long time, so they're not really going to power on for us right now. With that out of the way, I have a Samsung Elias 1 on Verizon. Pretty cool phone. And then a Doro phone. One of the few that I have. All of which do not work for some reason. Doro phones, I have began to understand, are basically just garbage. Garbage quality product. I have not ran into a single one that actually works. Which is a darn shame, but I guess these things just are the way they are, huh? Come on. Ah, damn you. I had you. Stay in my hand. There we go. Try not to drop any of this stuff. It's proving harder than it should be. Okay. Next up, we have this Samsung, it's an LG touchpoint phone. I have tried far and wide to get this thing to work, and to no avail. Yeah, sucks. The next I have an LG G4010, I think. Yeah, it's the G4010. Which works, but the ribbon cable's kind of faulty. So it'll do that sometimes. Yeah, there you go. Usually works though, but it will give me that kind of issue every once in a while. Next up is a Motorola T720 on Verizon. And it works, but the speaker is a little bit blown, so it sounds kind of weird. Yep. Shut up. Yep. Anyway, yeah, it works. Next, I have this weird Motorola phone on Airtel. I cannot say I've heard much about them before. And we're following that up with this Samsung SGH X475 on T-Mobile. Still has a SIM in it too. Then we have this other Nokia. This Nokia 918P. And I don't even really know which. But the battery did actually corrode, so it's likely never going to work again. And next we have a Motorola W385 on Verizon. Followed by this LG Altel phone, which might power on. I don't know. No, it ain't. Okay. Then this other LG track phone, which, you know, is what it is. Bleh. I have two of these Kyocera 2135s. They both work. They just need new batteries. This one's on Verizon. I think the other one is too. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab it out. There it is. It's got a cool cover on it. But it's also from Verizon. Next, I have this Nokia 2100. I want to say it's on Virgin Mobile. I think that's what it said. Then I have the Samsung Convoy here. I think this is a Convoy 3. We're going to follow that up with a LG VX2000. Weird thing about this one is it has kind of a defect where the speaker has a sort of ticking noise whenever it plays any sort of sound. I figured out this is kind of a common issue with this specific model of phone. It's weird. This, I believe, is called a Samsung View or something like that. I don't remember the actual name of it, but it shows signs of life, I know that. At least I think it does. Next set of phones out, shall we? Next, we have a Samsung. I think this is a Rugby, either a Rugby 3 or a Convoy 4. I know it works. It's just dead right now. Then we have this Nokia here on TracFone. I cannot for the life of me get the back panel off. So I'd like no true way to test it, unfortunately. Sorry, there was something stuck in my mouth for some reason. Anyway, here I have this Sanyo QCP or SCP 6000 on Liberty Wireless. I think there's a little bit of screen damage on it. I have no battery for it, so I like no way to tell if it works. Then I have this Motorola phone on OmniPoint. I heard from somebody that this was like supposed to be some kind of a prototype, but I honestly don't think so. Because I've seen it like a million times more. Anyway. Here we have basically a dummy phone of a Samsung SPH N240. It's a dummy phone, so it doesn't actually power on. Then next, we have this LG Verizon phone with a 1.3 megapixel camera. Ooh. It seems cool enough. Just don't think it has a battery right now. Next up, we have the Samsung Smooth on Verizon. Does not have a battery right now, but I think it does actually work. Then after that, we have a Motorola i1000 Plus, which is, I think, kind of like a weird, like, post-cursor to the Motorola StarTAC in a way. Like a Nextel version of it. Shares a lot of similarities with it, I tell you. Then next, we have this Motorola on Verizon. Not quite sure what it is. I don't remember the name of it. And then a Motorola Riser Z3 on Verizon. I think this is a Z6, but I also have a Z3 somewhere. This one works, it's just dead right now. It needs to be recharged. Alright. Get something interesting out of here. Get some cool phones. Some goody goodies. Aha! Whoops. Oh, well. Because this one decided to power on, I have this AudioVox right here on Verizon. It works. I forget what it's called though. The next I have this Kyocera K132 on Cricket. It's got a bad charging port. And also rubbery version, because of course they had to add that kind of coating on there. Idiots. Then we have a Samsung SGH C225 on T-Mobile. This is similar to the R225, but it has a color display. And I think like the rim of the screen's a bit different. Other than that though, it's relatively the same. Uses the same chassis. Next up we have a Sanyo. Keep getting those two mixed. Little Sanyo phone on Sprint. Yeah, I don't think it's going to power on for us, but I'm pretty sure it works. A lot of my Sanyo phones seem to work just fine. Then here we have the LG Chocolate Flip, I guess. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. But it works. Alright. Next up, we have an LG TP5200 on Sprint. This one, it works, but it needs a new battery because the old one does not hold a charge at all. Here we have the final iteration of the Motorola V60 on Sprint. I think this one they released in like 2004 or something. Pretty cool. I like the redesign. But it's dead right now, so we're not going to see it power on. Then here I have this Nokia right here. Yeah, it doesn't have a charge currently, but it does work. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump it. The camera, I mean. Next, we have this honestly surprisingly thin Samsung phone on Verizon. It does not have a battery in it. I can tell just by squishing the back a little bit. Then next, we have this Motorola phone on Cingular. Again, I do not remember the name of it. I can see if I can power it on. Nah, it's dead right now. But I know it works. Then we have some other sort of BlackBerry, which is just looking gross. I'm not even sure if it really works. But after that, we have this like weird kind of like grayish blue BlackBerry Rim on T-Mobile. I also have like a black one of those that's on AT&T, I think. Or no, Cingular. I think it's Cingular. Then I have a Motorola i475, I think is what it is. Yeah. See if I can power it on. Not right now. But it does have a working battery. After that, I have this Nokia here on Cingular, which I'm honestly pretty certain actually works, just battery's dead. Guessing I had some food stuck in between my teeth because I keep like noticing like small food chunks. Weird. Probably not something I should be announcing behind the camera. Oh well. Next, I have this LG phone on Verizon. It is a VX5500. I don't really know much about it other than that. And then I have this Nokia on AT&T. It is a Nokia 6350 1B. I don't know if you can see that, but the rubbery version on this is just horrendous. I think when I first got it, like the rubber had like melted onto like every other phone, so like all the other phones I got out of that box were just all sticky. It sucked. Next up, I have an LG NV2. It works, but a lot of the NV2 or a lot of the NV phones that I have don't really. I either just don't have a battery in right now, or they just don't have a charge. Then I have this LG on AT&T that's practically falling apart. Pretty sure it doesn't work. All right. Oh shit. Dropped one. See if I can grab it without disturbing the camera again. There we go. Problemo solved. What else can I grab out of this? Come on. There we go. Alright. Okay. So here we have a Samsung SCH N101. Doesn't currently have a charge, but I know it does actually work. There was a faceplate on it, but I think it fell off. Next, we have an LG Chocolate Touch, which I think it works. I can't remember. Then we have a Motorola V60 with a color display. I think it's the V60V or something like that. It's got a actually pretty cool carbon fiber print on it. Well, it's not really a print, but it's got like a carbon fiber backing on it, which is really cool. It's honestly a really cool looking phone. Then we have this Qualcomm phone, which is effing massive. Man, like this is basically it next to a Motorola Dynatac. It's honestly like pretty close in size to a Motorola Dynatac. For like 1997, that thing is pretty massive. Or whenever it came out. Next up, I have this Samsung keyboard phone on a track phone. I have two of these. This one is silver. The other one is like a black color. Then I have this other weird Motorola phone on a Cricket, which does indeed work. Takes forever to power on. Yes. Yeah, but it works. Next we have a Samsung Array. I think it's on Boost. It kind of works, though like a lot of the keys on the keyboard are kind of messed up and don't function. I think there's like a problem with the ribbon cable. Next we have a Samsung SGH S125G. It works, but doesn't currently have a charge. And after that we have a Motorola Razr Z3. This used to be my mom's. As you can see, it's yellow to all hell. It works, just doesn't have a charge right now. Then we have some other LG Revere phone on Verizon. This one surprisingly works considering how honestly kind of fucked it is. Avalanche. Anyway, next up we have the LG 100CM on track phone. It does not currently have the battery, but it does actually work. Then I have this weird Samsung, which looks like a Samsung Haven kind of, but I know it's not really. It's on Verizon. Then I have this other LG on Metro PCS. Don't remember what it's called. I don't think it. I think it works. It just doesn't have a charge. Another LG VX 8300. I have like 5 of these for some reason. Then I have this other like weird looking Nokia, which I think the battery on it is bad. Common issue with these Nokias. The batteries like go to crap and then you can't power them on at all. Like through my experience, they will not power on whatsoever unless they have a battery that will actually hold a charge. Next up, we have a LG MT375 on Metro PCS. Pretty sure this one works. Just doesn't currently have a charge right now. And then I have this Motorola C1681 on AT&T. I don't think it currently has a battery in it. Yeah. Never has, I don't think. I think we're like halfway through all of this. And I've been like filming for about an hour. dear God, save us all. This is nuts. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video doing this. Okay. So next up we have a Kyocera S14 on Cricket. I have not been able to get this to work. I just think it needs another battery. Then we have a couple more of these Duraphones. Enough said, they're crap. They suck balls. Because they never power on! Anyway. Next up, we have a not Motorola, Nokia 6086 on T-Mobile. And then we have a Ericsson CF388, which has a really cool looking keyboard on it. It's on OmniPoint, which I don't even really know much about that carrier. Here's that other BlackBerry RIM I was talking about. It's on what's it called? Singular, that's it. Then we have an LG Mingo, or VX1000, on Verizon. Yeah. Anyway, next up we have this other weird looking Samsung on Verizon. I think that's I think that might be the original Gusto. I'm not sure. No, it's not the original Gusto. That's something else. The next, I have basically one of two brothers here, made by Kyocera. I always have to look and see which one's which, because I'll get them confused. This is a Kyocera Loft on Virgin Mobile. The other one is the Kyocera Torino. You know, if I'll find that, I'll show it. But they're basically the exact same phone, just on different carriers. Next up, we have this Kyocera slider phone on Metro PCS. Oh yeah, the Kyocera Lelo. That's what it's called. Pretty cool. It works. Just needs a battery. Then we have another Motorola Razr. I think this one's on Verizon too. Yep. Then a purple BlackBerry Curve on Sprint. It works. It's just dead right now. Then a Samsung SGH A800. It has a bad ribbon cable and the battery's bad on it. So like, once I power it on, like you can't see anything on the screen. Or if it does show up on the screen, it's all corrupted, it's all corrupted. The next I have this Samsung SGH A850 on Verizon. Does not have a battery on it. The next is Samsung SGH C120. Nah, no battery on it. Well, it has a battery, it's just no charge. This is a Samsung Convoy 4. This I know for sure. It's not going to power on for us right now because it's dead. Then I have a Samsung Reclaim, which is basically made out of cornstarch, so it's a corn phone. The Samsung corn phone, you know. The next I have this weird Samsung phone. It is got some kind of weird mystery liquid all over it. Well, not liquid, but like some like weird mystery stain all over it, and I'm not trying to figure out what that is. Maybe they spilled coffee on it. I don't know. Next up, I have this ZT S505, I think is what it is. Some like weird little phone on a Claro Wireless, which is like some sort of a South American brand. Next up, I have a LG Fusic. Which works perfectly fine. It's got a bad, the battery isn't bad, it's just low. Ah, here we go. This is the Kyocera Torino. So, is it? Yeah. I guess you could say it has a little bit of a difference, so not really too much. Here we have an LG Voyager on Verizon. I think it's like water damage and boot loops. Next we have a Samsung SGHT239 on T-Mobile. It does not have a battery right now, so no way to test it. Getting through it, guys. Getting through it. It'll be kind of a relief for me to get this done because I've been putting this off for such a long time. I haven't really been buying phones as much recently. Just because of stuff going on, you know? Alright. There we go. Then I have this other LG on Verizon. Again, it's just dead right now. Then we have this Motorola i370 XL. I do not have the charger for this, so I have no way to tell if it even works. It is literally a brick. Then I have this AudioVox phone on Verizon. It works, just has a bad battery. And then here I have an original LG Envy in this kind of like military green color. Yeah, here we go. It works, it's probably just dead right now. Yeah, it is. Okay. Next up is this other weird Motorola phone. Oh yeah, Motorola M3888. I want to say that those were like all European phones. It was like weird, like big Motorola bar phones that weren't like StarTAC or MicroTAC or anything like that. Next up, I have the other one of those Samsung keyboard track phones. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Then I have this Nokia right here. I think this is that one with a weird battery. Yeah, it is. Hold up. Yeah, see that? Never seen a battery like that before. This is a 3210. I think that's the precursor to the 3310 or something like that. Cannot for the life of me remember. In any case, trying to get this all back on is a pain in the ass. There we go. Next up, we have this, actually, I want to see what model this is. VX5300, that's it. I'm honestly guessing that LG must have loved Verizon back in the 2000s because it's starting to seem like a lot of their phones were on Verizon. Especially their flagships. Next, we have this other Dora phone. Ugh, garbage. No like. Hate it. Yeah, this other Samsung slider phone. I think it's a 757 or something like that. There we go. I know I've seen it work before. There we go. A777, that's it. That's what it is. Whatever it is, it works. Both this one and the blue one that I showed you earlier. Next up, I have this weird LG slider phone. Well, not really weird, just, you know. Nah, I ain't really interested in seeing what the model is. I know for a fact that this one works. Probably won't power on, though, because the battery's dead like a lot of my other phones. Next up, I have this Samsung SCH U540 on Verizon. With, you guessed it, no battery. Then I have this Nokia 6205. I think I've seen it work before. I can't remember. I think it does. In any case, it needs a new battery. Then I have this AudioVox phone on AirTouch wireless. I know it works, it just needs a charge. Surprisingly, like the battery, concerning its age, concerning like the fact that it's a phone from like the late 90s, it holds a charge pretty well. Just haven't charged it in a while, so that's why it's dead. Anyway, I had this other weird Nokia phone. This one's on T-Mobile. I think that one doesn't show any signs of life at all, so it's basically dead. Oh, God. Finally seeing the bottom here now. That's good. Never thought I would see it. Ugh. Okay. Oh, God, I've been, like, doing this for, like, over an hour. Phones. I didn't say I'd be done yet. There we go, that did it. I guess I'll start with this UT Starcom phone, which does work, just doesn't currently have a charge. I actually got this one brand new. It's on some kind of like weird budget carrier. Next up, I have this Wowo W110. Never really heard of this brand at all before, but some kind of Middle Eastern brand. Don't know much about them. That I can say. Then I have this Kyocera KX414 Phantom. This was that other Phantom I was talking about, with the color screen this time. This one's on Verizon. Next, we have my other newer Motorola StarTAC. This one, the buttons are a little bit unresponsive, and the speaker is a bit, honestly, pretty fucked up. So, basically, any ringtone, any sound it makes sounds like ass. Next, I have this other Kyocera phone on Sprint. I do not remember for the life of me what the name of it is. Oh yeah, QCP 2035. That's what it is. Now if I can get the damn... There we go. I'm pretty sure this one works too, by the way. In case you were wondering. Next, I have this absolutely smashed Nokia 5165. I mean, like, look at that. The antenna's all chewed up. It's missing buttons. Scratched to hell. It's just... that thing's day is done. Anyway. I have another Sprint Touchpoint phone. Honestly, I think I'm just going to get rid of that one. I have two of them, one in better condition. Then I have this AudioVox MCI phone, which basically all this thing will do is just show a light and then not power on. Must be something wrong with it, not sure what. Then I have this BlackBerry Torch on AT&T. Yeah. I have not been able to get that to power on. Then I have this Motorola, well, I mean, it's supposed to be like one of those, Nextel phones, but it's on Boost. It's like one of the few phones I actually have on Boost. It works though, I know that. Next, I have a Samsung SGH X460. I've had this one for a while now, and no, it does not work. It is garbage. Then after that, I have this LG on Sprint. The LG Music. It's got a bad hinge and no battery, and it does not show any signs of life. Next up, we have a AudioVox CDM 8600 on Verizon. This one works, but it doesn't have any charge. Then we have like one of those other like weird AudioVox MCI phones. Yeah, this one does not show any power. It's just dead. Unfortunately. Then we have another Kyocera 2235. That one I'm not sure what carrier it's on. Then we have this other weird Samsung phone that looks like it's been beat to hell and survived 9/11. It does not work. Then we have a Samsung, an Ericsson A3618, which the battery was all like swollen up whenever I got it, so I had like no way to test it, and I still don't. Here we have another Motorola V60. Yeah, this one works. Yeah, it's now trying to fuss at me because the battery's low. Yeah. I hear you. Next, I have one of these Motorola V180s. This one's on Singular. I have two of these. I think they're actually both on Singular. One has the Playboy rabbit on it for some reason. I'm sure I'll find it here pretty soon. Alright. Next, I have this other UT Starcom phone. Though the OS is all corrupted, so it will not power on properly. It just displays an error message. Next up is this Qualcomm QCP 2035A in this nice gold. It's on Verizon, and it does work, just needs a charge. Next up, we have this other BlackBerry Pearl that's kind of beat to hell. It's in this weird red color. And then this is an LG VX8350. I have one in this color and one in red, which I think I might have already shown you. I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track with any of these phones. Next up, this is Motorola Adventure on Verizon. and it does actually work. Then after that, I have another Sanyo phone. Again, like most of these, I have not really taken the initiative to charge in like a long time. Then I have this other LG phone on Altel. I'll be surprised if it actually powers on. Yeah, it's dead right now. Oh well. Then I have another Ericsson phone on AT&T, which does... Well, actually, no, I can't say for sure because I don't have the charger for it. But next up, I have this other Motorola on Verizon. It's a pretty decent size, actually, for what it is. Then I have some Motorola budget phone on AT&T. I think this one might actually have a charge still. No, it doesn't. But one thing's for sure, I do know that it works. Next, I have an absolutely beat to hell LG Flare. Bad hinge. The rubber on the keypads basically come off. Yeah, it's in bad shape. Next, I have a Samsung Stripe, I think is what this is called. It's on T-Mobile. Next, I have an LG VN150S on Verizon, which surprisingly does have a charge. Alright. You can see it power on while I try to grab some more phones. That is if it decides to not just stay at that screen forever. There we go. Attaboy, sir. Oh, yeah. It's wanting me to activate it. No chance in hell. That network ended years ago. Alright. Anyways. Next up, we have this Alcatel Smart Flip on Consumer Cellular. Not currently holding a charge. Then it's not a CDM 8500, that's a CDM 4500. This is a AudioVox CDM 4500. It works, just needs a new battery. Then I have this Motorola V phone. I do not have the battery for it, or I have the battery for it, I just don't have the right charger for it, so I have no way to tell if it actually works. Then a Nokia 6101B on T-Mobile. It works, it's just dead right now. Oops. There we go. Sorry about that. Next we have this LG 840G. One of those other like El Cheapo touchscreen phones. Followed by a Qualcomm QCP 860. Which is like oddly, it's an odd shape for what it is. Just very strange. Strange. Then next, oh sorry. I have this LG on AT&T, or no, Nokia on AT&T. It works, but I have like only like one battery for those Nokias, so it's one of those things where like I can't power them all on at once. I can only really do like one at a time. God, my throat's starting to get dry doing all this. Next up, we have a Kyocera Rally, which was my first ever phone. But what's frustrating about this is I do not have the right battery for it. I shall proceed. Next up, we have the Sanyo QC or SCP 4500, I think is what this one is. It's on Sprint. Followed by a Motorola IC402 on Nextel. It's one of those Nextel phones. It needs a battery. Next up is a Samsung SCH N330 with the pop-up screen there. Yeah, it ain't powering on. It's just dead right now. Then I have this Nokia on AT&T 5160. And this kind of beat up Nokia right here, which is missing its center piece. Oh, which one is this? 2700C. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, well. There goes the back plate. And then I have this beast of a Motorola phone. Don't remember the actual name of it. Next up is an LG Chocolate. The original one. The one that started it all. It works, by the way. The next I have this other LG phone. I want to say it's like an LG Rumor Touch or something like that. That's what it's called. Ah. Come here, you phones. You phony phones. Wow. I have to actually get out of my chair now in order to like actually grab these out. But it's alright, I guess. Wow, man. This is pain. And one more. There we go. Whew. We're almost there. Alright. So this, I believe, is like one of the very first Motorola StarTechs. It works, by the way. But it's passcode locked for some reason. Next up is my only UMX phone. A MXC 570. Right? Yeah. It works, just needs a battery. Next up is this Kyocera Cadence on Verizon. It works, but I think it's just missing the battery right now. Then we have another Nokia 5160. This one's on Verizon, has this like weird metallic gray front plate on it. Then we have this gigantic Alcatel HC600. Yeah, don't know much about this thing. I really don't. Then we have this other Kyocera Duro phone, the E4510. Then this weird screen damaged LG on Page Plus or whatever that's called. I don't know. This is the original Samsung Gusto right here. I think I got it figured out now. It works, just needs a battery. Here is a Polaroid something, I forget what the name is. But it's in good shape other than the fact that it needs a new battery. Here we have an LG VX3200 on Verizon. And it has this blue backing to it. Then another Nokia phone on AT&T. So many weird ones, man, I swear. Then we have a Alcatel Smart Flip. I think this is like a newer variant of it. It's on AT&T. Then we have a Motorola i850. I did not eat 50. It's an i850. Anyway, corny dad jokes aside, I think I've tried to get this thing to work and it just ain't doing. Next up, we have one of these weird AudioVox slide phones. Or, oh, my bad, not AudioVox. It's something else now. What is it? UT Starcom, that's it. That's their phone line. Or their phone brand, anyway. Post like the early 2000s, I think. Anyways, this is a Motorola C139. That's the second one out of all the three that I have. There we go. It's actually unique phones for once. Ooh. I mean, they're all unique in their own way. Anyways, that's not important. Next, I have this NEC phone. Pretty sure this one actually works. It's from Bell South. Next, I have a UT Starcom Super Slice on Virgin Mobile. It works, it's just dead right now. Then I have a Pantech Breeze 3 on AT&T. I think that right now it's dead, but it does work. Here's the other Motorola V180. This one with the Playboy logo on it for some reason. Also on singular. Here's a AudioVox CDM 8500. This one has a monochrome display with like a choice of like, I want to say like 8 different backlight colors. It's pretty sick. I've never really gotten a chance to actually make like a real video on it, which is what sucks. Next up, anyway, we have a Motorola V262. This kind of like weird blue backing on it. It does not have a battery on it, so no way to test it. Then we have a Samsung Freeform of some sort. I want to say this is the first one. Freeform 1, anyways. And next up, we have this LG VM101 on Virgin Mobile. It is scuffed the hell up, but it does work. I have tested it. Next up, we have an Alcatel Jitterbug, which is in good shape, but does not work. See that? The physical appearance of a phone does not dictate whether or not it works. No, duh. Anyway. Next up, I have this slim Nokia phone. I know it works, it's just dead right now. But I think the OS is kind of corrupted in a way. I think I posted a video of it on it at one point. That aside, I have this LG phone on Embark wireless, probably a European brand. I'm not sure. Then I have this other AudioVox on AirTouch wireless. It works, but the battery is just kind of weak and due to its age. But it does power on. Here's my other LG NV1. This one's silver and does not have a battery. Then I have this like weird Express Music MP3 player. I think I'm gonna get rid of that. It's like I'm seeing phones here that I just want to get rid of like right off the bat because they just don't serve any purpose. They're just crap. Let me grab some more phones to show you. Then some more, because I can. There we go. Next up, I have this Nokia 1112. Not sure what carrier it's on, but it does work. I can confirm that. Next up is this LG VX7100 on Verizon. It has no battery, but it functions. Next up is this Samsung Elias 2 on Verizon. It works. Then I have this Motorola C333, which has this actually pretty cool white. It actually is like one of the only phones I have that actually has a white backlight for its monochrome display. Here's a legendary one right here, the Siemens S10D. With no battery, of course. This is the very first phone to have a color display. But it works kind of differently from like the ones that we have now. Then after that, I have this Alcatel One Touch 121, I think. Some Alcatel One Touch phone. Either way. I had to throw away the battery because it was like bulgy as hell, just from not being used ever. I got that one like brand spanking new, so that's pretty much why. Anyway, another LG VX 8300, blah blah blah. We've seen like 5 of these already. If that was enough for you, here's another one. I think that's all of them. After that, an LG NV2. Let me see if this one will power on. Probably not. Nope. I believe. I think this might have been the NV Touch. Yeah, no, this is the NV Touch. The other like weird touchscreen phone that I showed you a while back was the Chocolate Touch. Alright. I don't know why I got that confused for a second. This is a silver Motorola i1000 Plus. Might be able to power it on. Or not. Oh well. My funeral. Then we have a Motorola C343, which is like the C333, but has a color display instead of a monochrome one. Other than that, they basically share the exact same body style and everything. Next up, I have this LG phone on something or other. I have not been able to get that thing to power on, like, whatsoever. It just refuses to cooperate because it just wants to be that way. I don't know. Here I have a Samsung SGH A107. It works, just needs a battery right now. Then I have this Alcatel right here, which has no battery currently. But I will try to make that, I'll try to get it one soon. And then we have a ZTE Z222, which works, just needs a battery. There's a lot of phones in here that don't have a battery for some reason. Anyway. Next up I have this. Oh yeah, this is the newer variant of the Samsung Jitterbug phone. And I think this is another LG Extrovert of some sort. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if it actually powers on. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. What else do we have in here? Shit. I didn't mean to drop that. Damn. It's like dropping a fucking wrecking ball of all things. Okay. Trying to drop a whole bunch of phones here. Okay. Ouch. Now I'm like stubbing the side of my foot into things. Isn't that glamorous? Clumsy me. Dang, that really hurt though. Okay. Now, to continue, we have this Samsung, this like budget Samsung phone on Sprint. No idea if it works or not. Don't remember. I think this is like like some sort of a Samsung Keystone of some sort. I had like the first one or the second one. Here we have a LG TM520, or also known as the VX10. I think depending on what carrier you're using, or some regional thing. Either way, it works. Generally, like, it's a surprisingly reliable phone. Which is crazy, considering how old it is. Next up, we have a Samsung SGH X427M. Yeah, non-working. Then we have a Sanyo Quintana LX, I think is what this is called. Yeah. Do not know if that one works or not. I think it doesn't show any signs of life or something like that. Then we have this Palm Centro. Apparently the LCD has speckles on it. And then we have this LG slider phone right here. No way to tell if it works. Well, I mean, there is, but I'm too lazy. Then I have this LG phone, which is on T-Mobile and has this weird substance on it. Also doesn't even really work. And then I have a Samsung SGH X427. Or X426, I think is what this is. And the battery is looking to be pretty bulgy. Let me check that out. Oh, yeah. Time for it to go bye-bye. Then I have this other, I have this Samsung phone right here. Which, oh god. Does it really have a bulgy battery too? Not quite. I don't know. But it has this like weird pattern on the bottom of it, which looks really cool. It's a touchscreen type phone. Next we have this HP iPac on T-Mobile, which has Windows Mobile. Gosh, who knew? I have tried to get that thing to power on. I have not been successful. Anyway, next I have this LG, which I think is on singular. I'm going to try to power it on, see if I can. No. Next up, I have a Samsung Hue on US Cellular. I think it does power on, but it boot loops, so it doesn't really work anyway. Then we have this Samsung SGH T101D, or G, I mean. Doesn't show any signs of life. And then some other like little Samsung budget phone. I think that one's from China or something. Samsung SGH A300. It worked for me like one time, and then now like whenever I try to charge it, it just kind of makes a buzzing noise. Anyway, here is a Samsung SPH N400 dummy phone on Sprint. That's the other one of the two dummy phones I have, by the way. Here's one of those AudioVox slider phones, or sorry, UT Starcom slider phones. Next, I have a Samsung SGH 611 on some kind of Middle Eastern carrier, I think. I don't know, that language is like very foreign to me. I think that's what that is. Next up, I have a Samsung Exclaim on Sprint. Then I have a LG TM510 on Verizon. I have tried and tried to get this thing to work, and no matter what I do, no dice. And here is my last Motorola C139. This one's on TracFone. Followed by a LG i580 on Nextel. Yet another phone I was not able to get the power on for whatever reason. Oh dear. Then I have a Motorola i870. I have not really had success trying to power this one on, but this is like heavy as shit. Whatever it is. Alright. Oh. Hold up. Here's another one of those Novatel phones. Also a PTR 800. And I just slid all the way down there. Cool. I guess it can just kind of do whatever. It's old. It's been through a lot. It deserves retirement. And less of our whining. Okay. Just can't wait to be done with doing all this. I mean, like, seriously. My throat is, like, literally, like, screaming in pain right now. It seems like a lot of the coolest phones I was looking forward to are all the way down here. So that's cool. Glad to see them. Okay. Now, I have here a Huawei phone on Consumer Cellular. It does work, it's just dead right now. And then an LG NV2 on Verizon. This is my third one. This one is black. I have like... Actually, that might have just been my second one. I don't know, I have like a ton of those. Then another Motorola StarTAC. Sorry. On AirTouch wireless. Works, just has a bad battery, like all the other ones. Then we have an NEC P120, which does work, and the battery will like hold a charge for a little while, which, considering its age, you gotta admit is surprising. Then we have a Motorola MicroTac Lite XL. I wonder if this is the one that has the good battery in it currently. No. Then we have this big Qualcomm phone on US West, followed by another Motorola Razr. This one on T-Mobile. Cool. This is going to be a big mess to clean up when I'm done. Then I have a Motorola Product Red Sliver. I do not remember if that one turns on or not. Then I have this Pantech phone. Forgot what it's called. Then this here Alcatel phone, which probably won't power on for us right now, but it does actually work. Followed by a Motorola V66. This is the one that has just a white display, like a white monochrome display. I know there's like another one that has like, that gives you the choice to select like 3 different screen colors, which is pretty cool. So anyway, here is my other Motorola V60. This one's like a nice red, and it's also missing its antenna. That one has a bad battery. And we have an LG LX120. What the? Oh, damn. I'll be shitting. So's the charge. Yeah. I'm gonna turn you off now. Goodbye. Then another Alcatel Smart Flip. This one I think is also... No, this is on TracFone. That's what that one's on. Followed by a Samsung SGH R200S. I think it's also on T-Mobile. It works, just needs a new battery. Then we have a Motorola... I think this is a Motorola V3688, which works, just needs a new battery. It's on Tim Wireless, which I think is a British brand. Then I have a Pantech Duo, which is water damaged and does not work, but it's still cool nonetheless. Then I have a Motorola V220, which I think works, but just doesn't currently have a charge. Alright. Good Lord, man. 2 hours I've been doing this shit. Good God. That was a battery. That was not a real phone in there. There we go. So I think it'll be like this assortment of phones, and then I might have to do like one more trip afterwards, and then that should be all of them. Sorry. Bunch of big boy phones here. There we go. Alright. So here we have a Motorola Microtech 650. This is kind of like a newer one. It's on Cellstar. What the? Anyway, sorry. Then I have this other NEC phone, which has a cracked screen. Followed by this, honestly, kind of repugnant Motorola phone on T-Mobile, which I think I just got that recently. Followed by another Audiovox CDM 135, which actually works and will like hold a slight charge. Followed by a Palm Trio 650, which is in, if you can see, horrendous shape. And then an Alcatel One Touch 510, has no battery. It's on AT&T. Then this other Alcatel One Touch phone with a color film display. It is on Movistar. Ugh, man. Then I have this Sanyo phone on Sprint. Yet another one that I have not charged. Is it like I have a prejudice for that or something? I don't know. Then I have a LG VX4500 on Verizon. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Followed by a oh, it should tell me what this is. Okay, followed by some random Samsung slider phone. Won't tell me what the model is. Then I have this LG slider phone on Sprint. I have no idea what that is. Here's the LG G4011. What's crazy about this one is, well, it doesn't have any charge right now, but what's crazy about that one and its cousin, the LG G4010, is that they're actually capable of getting 3G signal, which for a monochrome display phone like that, pretty rare. Usually just nothing more than like 2G or like the analog network. That aside, next we have this Verizon, like another one of those audio or UT Starcom slider phones. Next we have an Alcatel One Touch E256 on Virgin Mobile. There we go. The audio quality on these are ass. Like literally ass. Yeah. Enough said. Anyways, after that, we have a Motorola i465, which has been a victim to rubber reversion there. And no, it does not work. Next up, we have the Motorola Talkabout version of the StarTAC. Like the time port that I showed you earlier, this is basically the AT&T version of that, called the Talkabout. And it has this like weird case on top of it, which honestly is totally unnecessary, but yeah. It works with a battery, or it works with a charger. But I don't currently have a charger on it right now, so no way to test that. Here is yet another Motorola StarTAC. This time with some like kind of like weird like monochrome display that works similar to the analog StarTACs. Then I have another Motorola V60 for some reason. I don't know why I have 3 of these. I don't need that many. I think that's because this one's like a darker gray sort of color. Then we have a Motorola i95 CL on Nextel, which features a color display. Fancy. I don't know, it's got a... Despite the fact that it has a bad hinge, it still powers on. Like, it shows signs of life. Like, I can't keep the charger in long enough because the chargers for those Nextel phones are shit. They honestly suck. Like, really, they suck. You just can't keep them jammed in there long enough to charge anything. So you have to keep it constantly held. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Here I have this Samsung phone on Sprint. It is a SPH M500. And I do not know if it works. Then I have this other LG phone with a sliding camera lens. Looks decent enough. It's on Verizon. Alright. Time for my next selection of devices. Giving up just assholes. There we go. Alright. That's all of them. Okay. Damn. Yeah, I just never really wanted to go. Whoops. Well, great, now my phone's about to die. It's like all this is like happening like toward the end. I gotta make sure it doesn't do that. So, uno secondo, if you please. There. Just gonna tilt a little. I will oblige it. Anyway, this here is a Motorola i530 on Nextel, and this is a Nokia 6185. that is like literally trying to fall to pieces. I mean, like, look at this. I just set it down, it does this. I am banishing you to the box. Oh, crap. Some foam must have disintegrated on this. This LG G430, which has no battery. This is probably like my oldest Motorola StarTAC. And it uses an orange dot matrix display. That looks honestly similar to a lot of the other Motorola MicroTACs. This here is an Alcatel One Touch something or other. I forget. This right here is a Motorola Crazer with I just don't think I've tested it yet. That or it doesn't have a battery. Excuse me. Here is another HP iPAQ. That one from Singular. Some MP3 player type like weird thing. Honestly, I'm just gonna get rid of that. It doesn't work. Here's a Motorola T21. As per the red tag there, it does not work. And then a Casio G-Zone Type S, I think is what it said. Something like that. Next, a Motorola Razr. Also on T-Mobile, has that like really cool flower print on the back. Then next, this Motorola phone on Boost. Basically another Nextel phone, but it's on Boost for some reason. Then I have this Pentex slider phone right here. I forget what the name is of it. Like I've said in the beginning of the video, it's really hard to remember all these names. Like, for real. Then I have this Huawei keyboard phone with no battery. And then these two El Cheapo Alcatel bar phones. The bigger one is the Alcatel One Touch Big Easy. Here's this interesting Motorola phone. It's called a Multitac, I think is what it's called. I don't really know why. It just is. Then I have this Alcatel One Touch here, which like worked like one time. So I could post that video on YouTube of it powering on and off. And then it never worked again. I can see why. I'll show you. If it will allow me to take the battery out. Look at all that rust, man. That's rust. Oh, come on. Just get in there. Thank you. Anyway, it does not work now, so. Damn. Anyway. Another Cellular One Motorola StarTAC with a green dot matrix display. Then I have this LG phone that I dropped. It's on 3 UK wireless and has a rotating camera. Next up, oh, so that's where that mystery substance came from. It came from this phone right here. Ugh. Of course, like that rubber coating was gonna disintegrate on it. This is an LG C331. Also works. Actually, yeah, that's where that battery went. There you go. I forgot I had in the C333 at one point, though I changed it for this one. Yeah, shut it. I turned you off, didn't I? Then I have this Motorola slider phone on Net 10 wireless. It is out of juice. Duh. Then I have the other one of those, like, honestly kind of big screen or LG dumb phones. Then I have a Alcatel One Touch 808A, I think is what it's called. Honestly, really cool looking. I like the way this looks. That's like a flip phone, but like also like a keyboard QWERTY phone. That's really cool. Then after that, I have this Motorola phone on 3 UK wireless. Alright. With all that in mind, that is literally all of the phones. I mean, like, look at that pile right there. That's a mighty collection. Anyway, tomorrow, or whenever I really get a chance to do it, I'm going to do the smartphones next. So with that out of the way, peace.